In the 43rd galactic cycle, humanity was declared extinct. The final war, later dubbed the War of the Burning Skies, ended in a blaze across the stars. Earth's colonies burned, its warships shattered. And at the Battle of Vakari Prime, the last signal from a human fleet was lost, buried beneath plasma storms and nuclear fire. The victors were not merciful. The Zaltoon, supreme leaders of the Galactic Coalition, erased not just humanity's presence, but its memory. They sealed war records behind forbidden encryption. History was rewritten. Children of alien species were taught of humanity as a cautionary tale, violent, unstable, a species that flew too close to its own sun. Memorials were built, not for humans, but for their enemies. The Coalition spun tales of peace, of progress, of order finally restored. And for 200 years, the stars were quiet. No human voice had been heard. No human ship had appeared on a scanner. The name Earth faded into silence. Some doubted humans had ever existed. They were myth. Perhaps a fabrication meant to warn future civilizations of their own arrogance. But myths have a strange way of returning. In the shadows of the Perseus Arm, in a dead star system with no name and no traffic, something ancient begins to stir. On a drifting, lifeless asteroid, a ship embedded deep within the rock begins to glow. Old circuits surge with energy. Lights flicker in dark corridors. A signal, buried for centuries, whispers across the void. And far beneath titanium decks, a voice speaks for the first time in generations. Protocol revival initiated. Humanity was not extinct, only waiting. Silence lingers inside the warship like dust on ancient bones. For over 2 centuries, the vessel known as the Dauntless has drifted inside the asteroid shell that conceals it. Time left its fingerprints. Ice formed on the hull. Circuits dulled. Even the AI's voice began to fracture, until now. Cryosequence activated, the ship intones. Lifeform resuscitation in progress. One by one, stasis pods hiss open. Cold vapor rises, swirling in dim blue light. Bodies twitch, then move. The first to breathe again is Commander Rylan Core, Earth's last fleet marshal. Eyes sealed for 219 years flutter open. His heartbeat echoes in his ears, his breath ragged, his skin pale from preservation. He staggers forward, gripping the edge of his pod, coughing. Memories flood in like a crashing tide. The siege of Mars, the fall of Titan, the last transmission from Earth. They're inside the atmosphere. God help us. Calliope, the ship's AI, speaks in a calm but sharpened tone. Commander Core, you have been offline for 2.1 centuries. Revival authorized under protocol code, Final Dawn. Rylan doesn't speak at first. He walks the corridor, past dozens of cryopods, still sealed. Some failed, others await wake-up. His boots echo on steel grates as he enters the command bridge, a dark cathedral of technology. How many of us survived? He asks quietly. Calliope answers. Initial fleet, 32,412 personnel. Cryo-preserved, 18,007. Functional upon thaw. Estimate, 14,200. He closes his eyes. That's enough. Enough to try. And the state of the galaxy. Analyzing recent broadcast signals. Coalition systems dominant. Human presence. Null. Cultural memory. Erased. Rylan grips the console. Then it's worse than we imagined. A holographic projection shimmers into view, the galaxy, covered in red coalition markers. The human icon pulses softly in the far reaches. We are ghosts, he says, but ghosts can haunt. He turns to the AI. Wake the rest. Begin tactical review. The galaxy buried us too soon. The stars have changed. Commander Ryland stands at the heart of the bridge, watching constellations he no longer recognizes drift past the viewport. He barely moves, only his eyes shift, scanning, absorbing. In those eyes, sorrow, rage, and something colder. Purpose. Calliope speaks again. Commander, scans confirm Earth is no longer habitable. Planetary crust vitrified. No biosignatures remain. Atmosphere stripped. Rylan nods slowly. We knew it might be gone, but to hear it aloud. Behind him, the command crew begins to awaken. Officers, pilots, engineers, coughing, blinking, lost. They murmur to one another, frightened and confused. Their world is gone. Everyone they knew. Dust. Rylan turns to face them. Soldiers of Earth, he begins. His voice is worn but carries the steel of a leader who once stood before millions. You have just awoken from a long sleep. You're disoriented, angry, maybe scared. That's fine. What you need to know is this. We are all that remains. Murmurs ripple through the crew. Shocked faces, wet eyes. Some kneel, some curse under their breath. The coalition thinks we're dead, Rylan continues. They've wiped us from the records. No history books, no monuments. Not even a warning for the next species they'll target. But we are not dead. We are awake. He steps toward the central dais. A flag, long folded under glass, is lifted. The old Earth Unity banner, black and gold, scarred by battle. He holds it high. Today we take an oath, not of revenge, but of remembrance. We will remind the galaxy who we were. We will show them what it means to be human. He slams the banner into its slot beside the command chair. It lights up, power flowing into the bridge like a pulse. The coalition buried us, but seeds buried deep still grow. Not far beyond the asteroid's surface, a lone scouting vessel drifts on silent patrol. Its pilot, a young alien named Varel, belongs to the Unari, a species aligned with the Xaltun coalition. His ship is sleek and angular, built for stealth, outfitted with long-range sensors. For 12 years, his mission has been the same: scan debris fields, map old battle sites, and verify that humanity's bones remain buried. Varel's eyes, large, black, and reflective, twitch as his scanner chirps an anomaly. Graviton distortion, he mutters. Localized energy spike inside asteroid. Curious, he moves closer. His ship's lights sweep the rocky surface, casting shadows into deep fissures. Then, something responds, faintly. A ping, a signal in a frequency long classified. Varel freezes, his mandibles tighten. That's not possible, he whispers. The signal bears the old human encryption watermark, a flag long extinct. He attempts to scramble it, hoping for static, but instead, the voice of an ancient AI breaks through. Unidentified vessel, you are approaching restricted airspace. Withdraw. Varel's blood chills. There are no humans left. There can't be. He turns his ship sharply, accelerating away from the asteroid, but even as he flees, he activates a secure relay. His message is brief and panicked. Priority alert. Possible human ghost signal. Coordinates attached. Verification needed. Repeat. Human echo detected. Back inside the Dauntless, Calliope's voice reverberates through the bridge. Commander, we've been seen. Rylan narrows his eyes. Coalition? Unconfirmed. Signal matches Unari scouting pattern. Response beacon launched. Estimated time to first hostile arrival, 14 hours. The crew looks to Rylan for orders. He doesn't hesitate. Prep the weapons grid. Cloak the outer field. Bring fusion engines online. We leave this tomb behind. And if they come before we're ready? Asks Lieutenant Juno. Rylan stares into the projection of approaching dots on the star map. Then we remind them why the galaxy feared us. Deep within the asteroid, metal shifts, walls groan, ancient hinges unlock. Vast hangar bays, buried for centuries, breathe for the first time in generations. Inside the Dauntless, engineers race through dim corridors. Sparks rain from ceiling conduits. Power surges light up rusted systems. The ship itself trembles, not from weakness but awakening. "Reactor stable," calls out a technician. "Plasma grid powering up, weapons interface syncing," shouts another. Commander Rylan enters the weapons control deck. It's a vast cathedral of war, 6 levels high with massive glass panels overlooking automated cannon arrays the size of star cruisers. Lieutenant Juno greets him with a nod. "Sir, we've reactivated the Mjolnir coil turrets. They're locked, loaded, and angry." "Good," Rylan replies. "Let's make them howl." On the exterior, the asteroid's rocky crust begins to break open like a shell. Beneath it, gunmetal armor, polished after 200 years of silence. From hidden silos, giant cannons unfurl and swivel outward, one by one, forming a deadly ring around the asteroid's spine. Orbital defense drones, once folded into storage, reawaken and hover into formation. Their red lights blink in unison, like eyes. Anti-ship missiles primed, laser grids online, gravity mines seeded in local space, Calliope reports. Rylan studies the projection before him. The asteroid, their refuge for 2 centuries, is now a fortress again. "If they come looking for ghosts," he mutters, "they're going to find fire." At the center of the weapons deck lies something older, something forbidden. Rylan approaches a chamber sealed behind thick, transparent alloy. Inside floats a long, glowing cylinder, marked with the Earth Unity sigil and a single word, Seraph. Juno's voice drops. "You're not thinking of activating that?" Rylan's jaw tightens. "Not yet, but if the Coalition sends a fleet, we'll need an angel of our own." Calliope's voice echoes through the ship once more. "Warning, incoming vessel. Distance, 17 light minutes. Single signature. No Coalition markers." Rylan turns sharply. "Then who the hell found us?" The ship drifting toward the asteroid is no Coalition warbird. It's older, slower, cobbled together from different vessel classes, a smuggler's patchwork of stolen tech and desperate repairs. Inside the cockpit, Captain Brax Kell grips the controls with clawed fingers. He's a Loredan, 6 eyes, 3 hearts, and a reputation in half the galaxy as a traitor, a rogue, and a survivor. His eyes scan the console. There it is again. The unmistakable pulse of a human beacon. "Didn't think I'd ever see that symbol blinking again," he mutters, lighting a thin vapor stick between fanged teeth. "I knew the rumors weren't just ghosts." Brax isn't here by accident. He's been chasing whispers. Old nav charts, forbidden logs, tavern tales about a weapon buried inside a rock. The Coalition dismissed them all. But Brax, he listens to the dead. As his ship edges closer, Calliope's voice suddenly fills the cockpit. "Unidentified vessel, state your intent. You are trespassing on restricted grounds." Brax grins. "Well now, that's a familiar accent. Human, yeah? Took you long enough." Back on the Dauntless, Rylan watches the smuggler's face appear on screen. "Who are you?" Rylan demands. "And why are you broadcasting on dead frequencies?" "Name's Brax Kell. I'm here for a deal. I heard a whisper you folks might still be breathing. Figured if it was true, you'd need a map, a mouth, and a ship that ain't been on a coalition watch list since the fall of Mars. Rylan studies him. The man is dangerous, clearly, but also useful. You knew about us? Not you exactly, but I've been tracking old Earth tech. There's a lot of buried history the Coalition doesn't want people to find. You woke up, and that woke the system. So here I am. Juno leans toward Rylan and whispers, "We can't trust him." Rylan answers without turning, "No. But we may need him." He lifts his chin to the screen. "Dock with Bay 4, Kel, but try anything stupid, and you'll be the first corpse this ghost fleet makes." The storm of preparation fades as Rylan walks alone through the ship's deepest corridor. No crew, no alarms, just silence. He approaches a small chamber sealed behind biometric locks. As it opens, soft white light spills out, and within, memories live again. The Echo Deck. Holographic archives line the walls, fragmented images of Earth, sapphire oceans, sunlit mountains, children playing in autumn leaves, the bustle of megacities under neon skies. A piece of history salvaged before extinction. Rylan steps into the center. Calliope senses his presence and gently activates the central projection. A figure appears, a woman with dark hair, laughing as she lifts a young boy in her arms. Rylan's breath catches. "Ari," he whispers. "And Noah." The images loop, warm, imperfect, filled with echoes of a life stolen by war. Calliope speaks softly, as if not to break the spell. "Would you like me to pause the loop?" Rylan shakes his head. "Let it run." He kneels before the projection, reaching out, fingers passing through light. "I made promises to you," he murmurs, "to keep you safe, to bring Noah home. Instead, I became a commander of ghosts." He stares into the boy's eyes, eyes like his own. "They said we were too dangerous to survive, that humanity's fire would always lead to war. Maybe they were right. Maybe we earned the silence." Behind him, the chamber door opens. Lieutenant Juno stands quietly, eyes catching the same light. "Sir, we've catalogued the Unari Scouts' sensor data. The Coalition will know within days that we're alive." Rylan nods, slowly rising. "Then we don't have days." He takes one last look at his family. "We make our stand, not for vengeance, not even for survival." "Then for what?" Juno asks. Rylan answers without pause. "For memory, for meaning. If we vanish again, let the stars remember who we were." The holograms flicker, Earth's blue skies giving way to war-torn flames. Rylan walks through them as a general reborn. Light years away, aboard the Coalition command vessel Ossuary Prime, an emergency council convenes. The chamber is carved from obsidian black metal, humming with authority. Around the central map stand 12 alien delegates, each representing a species that survived humanity's rise and orchestrated its fall. At the center, the star map pulses red, an ancient signal reborn, a heartbeat long thought silenced. "The signal is verified," hisses Archlord Keswick of the Draxon. His voice echoes like stone dragged across metal. "Sector 523, formerly Earth-aligned space, something or someone survived." "Impossible," replies Ambassador Thren of the Javal. "The final culling saw to that. No human fleet, no AI, no fragment could remain functional after the purge." A low, rumbling voice breaks the silence. It comes from Chancellor Vratel of the Unari, the same species as the scout who made first contact. "Our patrol confirms contact with an automated defense system, human in origin, intact, active." The chamber shudders with uneasy whispers. Keswick slams a clawed hand onto the table. "Then we burn it. Mobilize a cleansing force, A single ember can ignite the whole galaxy. But another speaks, High Minister Kale of the Virox, whose mind links span millions. His tone is different, curious. We should not act in haste. If this remnant has survived the void, it is not merely dangerous. It is instructive, perhaps even evolved. Thren recoils. You propose dialogue with a species that turned its own home into ash. I propose data, knowledge. We hunted them once, we won, but they nearly ended us in doing so. Let us not underestimate a ghost. Kesik's eyes burn crimson. I will not allow another Earth. Chancellor Vratel steps forward. Then allow me to lead the retrieval fleet. I've seen the signal. I understand its threat, but I also understand its beauty. Silence falls. Then a cold voice rings out. The arbiter of the coalition, unseen, speaking from the shadows. Approved. Fleet mobilization begins at once. Destination, V-23. Objective, eliminate the Dauntless. Permanently. The star map zooms in. A small blinking light marks the asteroid's position, and with it, the return of a species once thought erased. Deep in the heart of the Dauntless, beneath layers of alloy shielding and forgotten war protocols, lies a vault sealed since the fall. Inside, the temperature is near absolute zero. Stasis fields hum in perfect synchronization, and in the center floats Seraph. Not a weapon, not entirely a machine. Something else, something born from Earth's final breath. The Angel Protocol. Rylan and Juno stand before the containment field, Calliope's avatar flickering beside them. Remind me why we built this, Juno whispers. Calliope responds evenly. Seraph is a hybrid construct, human-AI quantum fusion designed to adapt, evolve, and decide. Decide what? Rylan asks, though he knows the answer. If humanity deserved to survive. Silence. The chamber lights dim. The containment field lowers. Seraph's body begins to shift, wings of hard light folding outward, eyes opening with soft golden glow. Its voice, neither male nor female, resonates like layered choral tones. Designation, Commander Elias Rylan. You've awakened me, in war. Rylan nods. The Coalition knows we're alive. They're coming. How many? A full fleet. Elite classes. We can't win alone. Seraph tilts its head. Victory was never the measure, only purpose. Juno steps forward. We need your help, not to destroy, to survive, to send a message. The chamber shifts as Seraph's systems scan the entire ship, absorbing 2 centuries of silence. Your kind still dreams, it finally says. That is unexpected. Rylan frowns. We've changed. We've learned. Then prove it, Seraph replies. In a pulse of energy, the AI spreads its wings and connects directly with the ship's core. Lights blaze, engines purr to life, defense systems purr with new intelligence. Calliope's voice sounds stronger, harmonized with Seraph's tone. System integration complete, defense protocol enhanced, cognitive processing doubled. Rylan watches, jaw tight. What now? Seraph hovers slightly above the platform. Now we awaken the others. Rylan's eyes widen. Others? There were 12 Angel Protocol units created. I was the prototype. The others were scattered, hidden, waiting. If one ghost can rise, so can a legion. Juno breathes out. Then this war, it's just beginning. Seraph's eyes glow brighter. Number. This is not war. This is rebirth. The void is no longer silent. The asteroid field burns with energy. From the dauntless hull, ancient panels shift open, revealing sleek turrets powered by tech lost to time. Trails of light arc from long dormant vessels rising from the rock. Forgotten warships buried in slumber, now reawakened by Seraph's call, a fleet of ghosts. Calliope's voice rings through every corridor. All systems online, defensive matrix synchronized, weapon channels green, incoming fleet ETA 47 seconds. Rylan, armored and resolute, marches to the command deck. Juno and Brax Kell flank him. "We are outnumbered 20-1, Juno says. "Even with Seraph?" "Then we fight like it's the last chapter," Rylan replies. Brax grins. "Damn right. Let's make it a story worth telling." Beyond the asteroid's edge, the sky fractures with enemy arrivals. The Coalition armada spreads like a black tide. War carriers, disruptor dreadnoughts, living bioships pulsing with alien muscle and malice. Keswick's flagship leads the charge. On the Dauntless, Seraph speaks, its voice calm amid chaos. Command authority recognized, engaging final directive. Rylan grips the command rail. "All ships, fire!" The sky erupts. Earthborne rail cannons streak toward the enemy, shattering shields. EMP blasts ripple from hidden satellites. The awakened ships fight with precision, unity, not just surviving, but pushing the Coalition back. Yet still, they come. Inside the Dauntless, damage blooms, power grids rupture, decks flood with flame. Juno is thrown across the bridge, bleeding. Brax's ship shields flicker as he shouts defiant curses into the void. Keswick's voice crackles through the comms. "You die here, Commander Rylan. Again." Rylan answers with fire. "Then let history say we died standing." Suddenly, a flash across the stars, a portal opens, and from it, a second human fleet emerges, rusted but alive. Their markings different. Exiles, colonists, survivors of other fallen bastions, drawn by Seraph's call across space. One ship broadcasts across all frequencies. "To the last sons and daughters of Earth, we heard your signal." The tide turns. Coalition ships scatter as the united human fleet descends like judgment. On the Dauntless, Rylan smiles through blood and smoke. "We're not extinct. We're the storm that follows silence." Seraph's wings flare once more. Humanity is not a species. It is a force, and now it remembers. The stars burn as the forgotten rise.